Here's what the Prime Minister had to say when asked about it during today's press conference.
Prime Minister, just on sports grants.
I'm dealing with coronavirus. We are spending all of our time focusing on what the next step needs to be and ensure we can take that next step in this national interest. Thank you very much, everyone.
On Bridget McKenzie, she's made it clear.
So there you go. Not keen to answer those questions. Peter Martin, the Prime Minister has been, well, I think it's fair to say, much more keen to talk about coronavirus and the government's response than this issue.
Prime Minister, just on sports grants.
I'm dealing with coronavirus.
Professor Kelly, you've got discussions with the aged care sector today. Obviously, at some point, this virus won't be able to be contained from spreading in the general community. But what's your level of confidence that you will be able to contain it from spreading through the aged care facilities generally and also through Indigenous communities?
It's a very good question, and we're...
The $1 billion that you're setting aside, is that...
Well, it's just an estimate.
Yeah.
It's a demand-driven program.
Yeah. So is that based on... Could you just talk a bit about what scenario that's based on in terms of the spread? How many people would contract the virus under that scenario? And also, the British Chief Medical Officer has said that they're expecting 50% of cases within the 3-week period and 95% over a 9-week period. Is that the same?
I saw that today, but last Health Minister.
So I'll do with the general, and on the epidemiology, that's Professor Kelly's actual discipline. So we're well equipped there.
As this virus continues to spread around the world, we see the number of cases multiply here and in countries across the world. The Olympics is looking pretty shaky, isn't it?
Time for one more.
Just on the travel ban, you said just before that you would have preferred to have put the enhanced screening measures in place for Korea as well. The Korean government has said that it regrets that Australia has put a travel ban on people coming from there. What impact is this having on our international relationships?
Oh, I don't believe any. I think we all understand that these are not usual times, and we regret having to be able to do that as well. We'd prefer not to be having any of the travel bans. We would prefer not to have coronavirus spreading around the world. We would prefer not to have any of these happening, and I think there is an understanding that each country has to make its own decisions in its own national interest. Australia has been very clear in our communication with our partners and our friends, as we were yesterday. We've been very clear about the circumstances of this decision, and if we're able to make a change to that decision in the next week or two, well, I think that would be good. I think that'd be great, because there are Australians who are in Korea, and likewise there are Koreans who are in Australia looking to return, and that has an impact on the availability of flights and all those sort of practical issues. But the coronavirus has had this disrupting effect on people's movement all around the world. But we're going to stay on top of it. We're going to stay working together. That's the most important thing. And we, again, really appreciate the cooperative relationship that is on display with the states and territories. I mean, they will increasingly share a lot more of the direct responsibility of deploying through their health systems, the doctors and the nurses and the treatments and the responses on the ground. They run the health system. But what they should know from what we've offered today is we'll be there with them, shoulder to shoulder, 50-50, with an even stronger set of funding arrangements than we would normally have, because this is not business as usual. This is something very different, but we will get through it because we have the right partnerships in place, we have the resources ready to go, and we are spending all of our time focusing on what the next step needs to be and ensure we can take that next step in this national interest. Thank you very much, everyone.
On Bridget McKenzie,
Prime Minister, together with the Federal Health Minister, Greg Hunt, speaking in Canberra, the latest update on how the government is handling the outbreak of the coronavirus.